gentlemen, and disappointments. We are coming to you live from the Woman Caves in New York and Connecticut. My name is Leslie.
And my name is Melissa.
And we are Verbally Disastrous. Hey everyone, this is your co-host, Leslie. I have two special guests with me this evening, one of which is my eldest son. His name is Tom. My youngest, his name is Johnny. We decided we're just going to talk about random subjects, one of which we were discussing. John, tell them what the name of the author, the YouTube channel that we were discussing. It wasn't Smosh.
No, it wasn't Smosh. Smosh is the shit, though. The name of the YouTube channel is James Freeman. I've been watching him for a little bit. I kind of like his style. I like his, the way he handles things. But we've come into a little bit of a disagreement upon how his methods on police interaction. He's a journalist for corrupt officials. He kind of investigates and tracks down like these corrupt officials, and I believe he's doing God's work because for me, anybody who walks up to a cop with a camera he's got balls of steel.
He's a fucking instigator is what he is.
Well, that's the position that Tom and I have taken. But we're basing it upon, in all fairness, we're basing it upon one video.
Two.
We watched one.
I think we watched two.
No, we watched Smosh.
We watched the Eat a Bag of Dicks and we watched the fucking...
Yes,
Yeah,
that is the same guy.
Once again.
Yes.
But claiming that it's him doing like a social service for the people, but really what he's doing is seeing how far he can get before he gets.
It's self-prophecy as far as we're concerned, because he's poking the bear, and he's.
To me, like instigating, like it really doesn't apply to police because like they should be trained on how to like de-escalate the situation and deal with assholes because that's their job. They deal with people every day, and that's the same with anybody who deals with fucking people, right? They should be trained.
Assuming that there's no human element, though.
But that human element should be taken out of because, they're supposed to be trained. That's what I'm saying. The George Floyd and they're talking about defunding the police. That's fucking horrible. They should fund the police and they should have training, so they shouldn't have people who do crazy shit.
Well,
we
all agree on that.
Let me make a little point. You're saying that because it's his job, then he should just fucking deal with it.
Exactly.
So
However, you shouldn't be thrown into situations that are not necessary.
Let me equate this to you and I misbehaving on the bus when we were younger. So since the bus driver should be trained in dealing with kids and shit, that means that the kids could be screaming out the window at people driving by or distracting the bus driver.
So now the responsibility is on the bus driver to harness that, and not the responsibility on the kids to subdue their behavior.
Right. No, just leave that there, dude. They get hit.
But listen. The thing is, that's against the rules of the bus. But it's not against the rules of the law. Like, it's not against the law to tell a cop to go fuck himself, right?
No, but you're just an asshole.
But you're not in the right for telling a police officer. You're not in the right to interject yourself into a situation that you weren't needed and you didn't see injustice, and there was no need technically for the man to pull out his camera and start recording. There was nothing visibly when we all watched it that merited him saying, okay, let me record this, let me interject myself into a two-party situation to throw myself in as a third party to create some form of under the veil of justice, because technically that wasn't justice. That was him interjecting himself in to see how far he could push the button on the police officer. And he's human.
Inspiring conflict.
Exactly.
Just by and masking it with his YouTube channel and being like this fucking
deep out for justice. You could be a journalist. Anybody could be a journalist. I could be a journalist.
People do that fuck shit all the time to police officers, and it's their job to de-escalate the situation. That's what I'm saying.
But you're taking the ownership of somebody choosing to interject themselves into a situation where it's not merited, and you're saying it's fair play for the guy to interject, videotape something where the woman who is actually the person of police interest said, "You're making me uncomfortable." She clearly let him know that she didn't need to be. They didn't. Yes, she did.
She said,
we both watched it.
You with your camera
All
out,
of
you're
us
making me uncomfortable, or something along those lines. And the video that we're talking about for people listening was, what was his name? James Freeman.
James Freeman, and they were in front of a Walmart.
The
I'll
video,
put it in the blog, like exactly the name of the video to reference. The other video that we were watching was when James Freeman, he was in a truck. And he was going through. He was crossing the border to Mexico.
No. He was crossing domestic borders. And there was a rule by, like, I think there was some sort of court.
He said something with the courts.
Yeah, some sort of court rule that allowed people within 100-mile radius of these borders to be questioned, like, off of, like, are you a U.S. citizen and all that shit.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's 100% something, because like 2/3 of all of America live within that area.
Right.
So people...
Nearly 2 out of 3.
So people...
That's what it said.
Yeah.
So if you're merely being questioned and you're not being challenged with your paperwork...
Just give him the fucking papers.
Give him the
paperwork. Instead, he wants to play with the people. Here's a bag of eggs.
Yeah, he's explaining the bag of gummy bears. Was it a gummy bears?
It was like dick.
But he's harassing them with a bag of candies.
He told the guy,
"Here's
some window wash. Can you
wash my windshield?"
Yeah, no, he's fucking with them because they're fucking with people who live in that area who are just trying to get some.
With people. They're making sure
that's
that
their job. They're ensuring that they're legitimate.
Belong in the country.
There's no like he's battling against an unjust ruling that allows people to be harassed who are just trying to get from work to home.
It's not harassment.
It's not harassment.
It's ensuring the people in the country are citizens.
And
if there's no control, then it's chaos.
No, but it should be handled in a different way.
What way do you suggest?
I mean, I'm just like his point was just that this way is not the right way.
Just swerves around that.
If you feel there's a different way, if you were president,
it should be.
How would you handle it?
It should be only
immigration.
It should be only people who are traveling across international borders. People who are traveling across international borders through airports, through.
And then what? Once you get in, then you're just in.
No,
this is a second layer of security.
Listen. Like, I mean, if they were to pass some rule with some airports, like through some TSA, and they were to be like ask a couple questions.
There's nowhere near the same layer of. You can get in an airplane. There's a heavier layer
we're talking about
with the
people
TSA.
Just walking across the fucking border.
Exactly.
Or getting in a truck and driving from.
That's why they should have border control, and we have border control. Exactly.
You just said that there should be border control. Meanwhile, the guy's analyzing border control. They're answering a series of questions. He was smart ass in his delivery of the responses. Regardless, you could tell that there was clearly a language barrier because they didn't understand some of the things that he said.
I don't think so.
I think he was also trying to prove that the Border Patrol people that he intersected, they didn't really understand what he said because if they did, then they would have been offended. I think he was testing the water.
I don't believe that.
Whether they understood him or not, he was definitely testing the water.
He was absolutely testing the water.
That's not illegal.
Wash my windshield.
No, nobody's saying it's illegal.
We're saying that he's a fucking asshole, and nothing that he says
he's an asshole.
Has credit to it. There's no credit. The only reason I'm gonna listen to somebody
he's upholding the law. Like that's just it. Like he's
instigating.
He's instigating
officers of the law. That's what
which he's
but
testing.
Officers of the law should be trained on how to not fucking fall into those traps.
Okay, all right. So let me.
I gotta have ultimate training to have ultimate patience to never ever allow even if someone is purposely interjecting themselves into a situation where they don't belong. The police officer must have ultimate
traveling across a border.
No, I didn't say that.
She's talking about the second video where he came into this confrontation with the cop and the lady.
That's perfectly legal. That's for him to record that. That's perfectly legal.
If she doesn't want to be recorded, and she said that.
She clearly said that.
We need to look that up. need to look that up.
You can watch it again.
it's-
You're welcome
it's
to it.
We need to
You've
look it
seen-
up.
But we
No,
did.
no. Leave that alone.
But you did say we did say that if you feel a certain way, then you should tell us how you would handle it.
Right.
As far as immigration is concerned, because you feel like the man has every right in the world to get in a vehicle, cross the border, and be abusive towards the agents who are questioning him,
and claim that they're the ones being like
assaulting.
What did he say? Yeah.
By all means,
fuck,
let us know what you feel.
That second video blew me the fuck away because of him saying that the officer was escalating the situation. Meanwhile, his very presence with the camera and everything and the flip-flops, for some reason that always escalates shit.
And
You're just saying flip. What the
But
fuck?
it-
Is
and the
that to do
jean
with
It's
anything?
shorts.
a joke, relax. But just the fact that he was there escalated the situation. Then told the cop, what? You fucking asshole. Shut
Yeah,
up.
shut
He
up.
started
That's
with
perfect.
shut
That's
up.
perfectly illegal. That's
Nobody's
Okay,
saying it's illegal.
He's an
an asshole.
Okay.
And he has no credit for anything that he says
He's
after
allowed
being
to.
an asshole.
He's allowed to be an asshole.
Sure.
Yeah, he's allowed
if you're
to be
gonna
an
tell me
asshole.
that the shit that he's saying, like the kind of like conspiratorial kind of shit that
The tones.
he's looking for it.
What does that to do with conspiracy?
Because
He's trying to create an issue that wasn't there prior to him stepping foot onto
Yeah,
it.
he's acting
The
like
issue is the fact that he, like the officer, purposely pointed out like a weapon that wasn't fucking there, and he knew it wasn't.
Well, it was
there.
a radio, so it you don't know from a distance. See, now I'm dealing with I'm an officer, and I'm dealing with a problem over here. Now all of a sudden, I have a gentleman behind me, and he's filming me. Now there's something dark colored in nature that's hanging off of his hip, his waist.
He was.
You don't know what it is.
I-
You're
I
trying
do-
to assess it
I do
within a
believe
quick amount of time.
watching that video, I do believe that he was saying, "Is that a gun? Is that a gun?"
Then the guy said, "No, you
To-
fucking asshole." He cursed at him.
Yeah, but
So
to kind of
like he fucking tried to fucking Jeff Winehouse him.
well, I do believe that the cop knew that it wasn't a gun when he was coming at him, saying, "Is that a gun?
Exactly.
Is that a
That's-
gun?"
that must-
I do think
It could have
Back.
very well been a tactic for him to back
That
down.
might-
right.
I mean,
That-
that-
I do
Because he's
believe that.
warning him, if you come at me, as far as I know, you might be packing something. I might have to take you down.
Right.
But he knew he wasn't. So like, there's no reason.
You're,
Well, there
you're
was no reason for
inferring,
him to
you're,
be there
you're
in the first
assuming he's
place.
thinking
except
that.
for the fact that he's a journalist and it's perfectly
Who gives
legal.
a shit if he's a
He-
journalist?
Everybody with a,
He-
with
no,
a
no,
cell phone
even
camera
if
these
he
days is
wasn't
a journalist.
It's his right
it's
to be
none
there.
of his fucking business, though.
It doesn't fucking matter. That's a social thing, not a legal
does.
thing.
What?
It's a social thing, not a legal thing.
Now the reason
I'm
why
perfectly fine
He
with.
gets shot. Let's say worst case scenario, he gets shot because he had the radio in his pocket. Maybe there was no antenna sticking out. It just looked like a black block on his
yeah,
head.
you don't know what it is.
And he gets shot for it. That's his fault for being in there in the first place.
No, it's. I mean, it's just a matter of circumstance. If you know the cop sees that and shoots him for it, because he's not in the wrong for being there, because that's perfectly within his right to be there. That's just a matter of circumstance.
Well, I'm saying if in the worst case scenario he did get shot or something like that, he did pose a threat to this cop. The cop wouldn't be in the wrong because this guy just walks up in the middle of a Walmart.
But
parking lot.
that's perfectly legal. The cops do not deal in social or anything. They deal in legal.
Well, this is
Right, but you're the
this is
same
why
one-
the cop was identifying, is that a weapon? Is that a weapon?
Well,
And then when he said no, that's when he backed down.
Let me take what
No,
he
he
just
was
said.
fucking approaching him while he was saying it.
You just said
Well,
that
if I
cops,
was a cop, I'd
cops
want
don't
him
have
too.
to deal with the social shit. They deal with what'd you say?
Legal. They deal with
the legal stuff.
They
But
gotta deal with
in the
both.
same token, though, you're the one that's saying that they need to be trained ultimately in de-escalating situations, all the way to the lowest degree of this kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
That's social shit that you're talking about.
I mean, that's more of a safety thing. De-escalating a
It's-
situation is more of a safety thing, you know? Because
But at this
But he-
level,
but he's
in the middle of a Walmart parking lot, that's kind of on a social level. There's nothing.
that's more of a safety thing. I feel like it's more
We were saying social or legal. It's more social than legal at this point.
there's a root. There's a reason why you feel the way you do. And would you say it's fair to say that the George Floyd incident has spawned the way you feel to where now you watch a video, whether the guy with the camera is right or wrong, you feel like there's some form of injustice, and that's due to the George Floyd incident,
well,
or does it go back?
There was there's
Yeah,
videos where him and the cop get along, and there's those videos I haven't shown you yet. There's videos where I've seen multiple where him and the cop get along, and that's because they don't escalate the situation. They just see him as a normal citizen, like, hey, how you doing? Hey, you know. I mean, there's videos I haven't shown you yet.
Videos where he wasn't instigating problems, or the cop was
just there.
The cop was able to de-escalate the situation.
There was two scenarios, right?
But then you have to have the right conditions. You have to also not feel like your life is in danger because you see some sort of shiny metal piece, you know, behind.
It was a black metal thing, and he had his side turned to him while he was backing up.
But that still is probable reason to say, hey, what's going on there in your back pocket?
Questionable black object in your pocket.
Yeah.
It wasn't on his pocket. It was outside of his pocket on his hip. It was clipped.
But regardless, if you're a police officer, you have to react in seconds.
It was outside on the clip of his pants.
It's not without the realm that you would not be shot if you didn't react appropriately within seconds. The
point is he knew that wasn't a gun. So he shouldn't have said anything.
Well, he backed off when he asked him if he was a cop.
Yeah, and he backed the fuck up.
No, he was fucking he was pressing that motherfucker.
Yes, he was.
He was on him. He was like, is that a gun? Is that a gun? When he knew from the start, before he even asked that shit, he knew that wasn't a gun. He knew he was trying to escalate the situation.
Before, though, I do agree with that. He probably knew that it wasn't a gun. But
that's speculation. That's speculation, assuming that the man knew the police officer imagined the entire time that he wasn't threatened. That's speculation, because you don't. I know if I was attending to a different situation and I turned around and I saw another person approaching me, and it looked questionable, I would question it. But shame on me. If I was a police officer and I got shot and I didn't question the person that was coming behind me and filming, who do I know? Person. I don't know who that person is.
If he was coming up to it with the intent of harming the officer, why would he film it? Why would he have?
Because there could be a sadistic reason for doing so. Let me gun down. Unless you see the face of the person who is filming, you don't know. You're only watching the officer getting killed.
There have definitely been instances where people go into something. I don't remember where it was, but there was a guy that went into a Muslim church and gunned down the entire church.
Did he record it?
He recorded the entire thing.
That's a Muslim church.
What does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
He's self-incriminating himself, and he doesn't care. He's filming it to show the other people that have the same beliefs as him that he did the right thing. Quotation marks. Like,
in his according to his perspective,
right?
But he has a risk because he's assuming. I don't know if he was draped to where his face was veiled.
Regardless of whether he's got the video or not. That doesn't stop somebody. You can't assume that they mean no harm.
No.
Because there's been instances where people videotape the shit.
Because there's a sadistic piece. A lot of serial killers will videotape the people that they kill so that they can return to the scene of the crime via the videotape and watch it play out again. So there's no such thing as just because I'm videotaping it and I'm behind the camera doesn't mean you're innocent. There's kinds of people
out there.
Absolutely. Serial killers are big on recording their kills and watching it again.
I personally have not experienced or seen anything like that.
I think we haven't.
We're telling you that
we haven't either, but
we haven't experienced it. But there's
different realms.
I haven't seen anything like that, so I can't.
The video that I'm telling you about, you see the AR gun down innocent people in this church, and then the video keeps going until he gets in his car. He's driving. He's just shooting people out the window.
That's power. demonstrating power.
I haven't seen
Look
that.
at me, I got out of here and I drove off.
Yeah, there's a real
The mental
problem
trip.
with
I
that.
can't comment on that. But the fact that he knew there wasn't a gun there, but he still was pressing him, that's the part that bothers me. That's really like the whole
What
point.
about the fact that this guy walked up? You don't see anything wrong with this guy walking
randomly
No, that's
walking up?
perfectly legal.
It's none of his fucking business.
It
None of
doesn't
it's
matter.
his
It's a
business.
social
He's not
thing.
getting arrested.
None of his business is a social thing.
But you're assuming that he had a place when he opted to turn his camera on, press record, and then step up to a situation that wasn't escalating, that didn't visibly. The woman who was involved with the police officer, she didn't look distressed. We were watching the video.
No,
She
they
didn't
were
look
looking
distressed.
at like the tire or something. It was just like it seemed like a casual conversation
But
until
he
this
still
guy
has-
walked
he's
up
still-
And he
in this
escalated
situation.
He
it.
still has the right to record the shit.
He
'cause
has,
they're-
but he shouldn't have stepped to the police officer
they're
in
a
the
public
manner that he
place.
did.
They're in a public place.
Where else are you gonna get pulled over? In a private place?
I mean, maybe. I mean, sure.
No.
No, you're in a public
I
place.
mean,
And the other
I
thing
don't
is,
know anything about that, but-
you keep saying that officers should be trained to de-escalate situations, and yeah, de-escalate situations as far as somebody's robbing a bank. We need to de-escalate.
There is that situation
That's
at
more
hand, not one that is manufactured by another party who walks into
Exactly.
a situation.
He manufactured that
manufactured it.
situation.
I don't see how he manufactured. I really don't.
He
decided,
interjected himself
"Let me
into a
walk up to these
situation."
people."
He didn't walk up. He was like 30 feet away recording
He was
them.
less than 10 feet away from the cop.
No, he was 30 feet.
By the time
He was
the
not
police
30
of
I promise you.
He was
like,
one stick of EMT away from these
Yes.
fucking people.
it was one length.
for real. No, he was
By
like,
the time the officer asked him, I
That's
was looking.
awesome.
I'm like, he's about 10 feet away.
Yeah.
because the officer walked closer to him. He was like, "Is
No,
that a
You
gun?"
shouldn't
walk
be.
up-
You shouldn't interject yourself into a situation that's not even your problem and
but
be
that's
less than
his-
10
that's
feet
so
away
much
from an
better off
officer.
just minding your own fucking business.
But that has nothing to do with it. He has. It's perfectly within his right to
So
record that
instead
shit.
of us going the circle, explain to us, because neither Tom nor I will understand what social justice is achieved by him filming. Did he?
It's just a
Well,
self-esteem.
listen. Did he need to step less than a stick of EMT, or should he have stayed about 2 sticks of EMT, which is about 20 feet?
Dude, he was like
Does
30
he
feet
need
away from them.
No, he wasn't
For real,
30 feet. He was about 10 feet away
Bruh,
from that
for
he
real.
point.
he was a parking spot away from the cop
Yes,
and the lady.
which is
He was
equivalent.
a couple. It was
No,
like
he
two.
wasn't.
One
at
parking
least two
spot
parking-
from the width of
at least
the
2 cars
car
away.
is 5 feet.
At
that's,
least 2 cars.
That's one stick. That's one stick of EMT. So
What the
we're
fuck
right.
does that mean? I don't know.
It's fucking excellent. This is what it is. It's an electrician joke that you.
I like using shit that I don't even
It's
understand.
great though. They use it for
It's 2
everything.
hands worth.
Yeah.
My wingspan is 5'5".
Hold on. What is EMT?
A stick of EMT is
Electrical
10
metallic tubing.
Yeah.
All right. So that's for the viewers out there who are not fucking electricians.
EMT, yeah.
It's a means of conduit for an electrical installation, and the trade size goes from 1/2 inch all the way up to 4 inch, and depending on how brawn you are, you might be able to throw it in an 1 1/4 inch bender and do it by hand. Once you get to 1.5 to 4 inch, you have to do it by machine.
Yeah, you ain't using
And ladies and gentlemen, she just told you that off a couple shots of peanut butter whiskey and a couple cans of all right,
that-
so
that-
she knows what she's talking about.
That
all right?
definition was straight out of the code book too, let me tell you.
And she's like, she's sipping on fucking Heineken right now, bro. For real.
Knowledge does not leave you when you have
Or wasted.
Heineken on board.
The
No.
fact
I gotta
that we
piss.
both use sticks of EMT.
Talk about
As
6
a
MNT
reference.
black
It's
piss.
fucking,
Use
just-
bars back in the 90s. You used to use bars as a reference.
Bars.
And
what do you
you
mean
see-
bars?
Like when someone would say the job is around the corner, you'd say, all right, is it down the street from Finn McCool's?
Oh,
Or down the
like bars
street
like
from
that, okay.
O'Reilly's?
Right.
You know, you would use a bar as a reference to tell you how far a job was, so that
Finn
you knew to
McCool's.
report at like. I used to love Finn McCool's. Actually, we topped out.
I wish I got to experience that.
Finn McCool's was closed by the time you got to it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
By the time I went to my first St. Patty's Day parade,
Yo, everybody who watches this comment, Tom needs to stop vaping because it's gonna kill him.
No,
not a
it's
video, by the way.
audio. see how much
Where's
you've
the
been paying
camera,
attention.
It doesn't matter, bro. Just comment down below, Tom. Fucking stop before you die.
Stop vaping, Tom. That's hashtag Tom stop vaping. That's what Johnny
Put that
wants
shit
for
down.
you.
Matter of fact, put that shit away.
Why don't you hide it in the fucking couch cushion again?
Again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again.
go lay down. Go lay down and keep defending this YouTube clown.
Do you want to discuss since we burned the viewers' ears off on this last guy? Do you want to discuss another topic? I know you were talking about meth urine.
Oh my God.
All right, let's dive into this,
Matt,
one, ladies and gentlemen.
Because I don't even, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think. Don't fuck with us.
Stop touching this shit. Let's do that.
You wanted to discuss meth urine, so here we go. Go ahead.
Have a lay down.
So
No. I gotta be over here, lay.
So there was this comedian. I'm not sure of her name because they're not letting me do research right now.
They're not letting me.
He had
Or is
time.
it that you had all
He
your
had
shit
time.
taken away from you?
No, he had time.
Why are you relax with all that fucking shit? But like,
He had plenty of time, but he opted to.
I had a notebook full. I had a notebook full of notes, but they didn't tell me about this podcast. So I'm
No,
kinda
he
just-
knew.
You knew.
No,
What do
I
you mean?
did
I
not.
knew.
He knew.
How come I didn't get the memo?
Because
You
I'm
don't
Johnny.
listen. Or it's just because you got all your shit taken away.
We should just change the name of the podcast too.
podcast?
Yeah, shut
The
the fuck up.
vodcast.
Listen, bro, chill.
Yeah,
Bro,
right.
we should change the name of the podcast to the Roast Johnny podcast.
That
We
might
should-
be a different segment we might have to introduce.
It might,
Wow.
Yes, it might be on.
Wow.
Because actually, I have a series of YouTube videos that I call "I Talk My Sons into Foolery." So that might
What are
be.
we talking about?
The Johnny roast might be like a little 10-minute segment.
We just fucking cooked the shit out of me.
Yep.
Well, you gotta have to.
Like bacon.
This is where like bacon. You
Nah,
gotta
but there was this comedian. She was talking about.
Oh,
There
and
was-
he smelled
No,
it.
you did not. Just smell.
Anyways.
Don't worry about it.
Scratch.
And
Smells like bananas.
It
Anyways.
smells like the peanut butter whiskey that's still on my fingers.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Gross.
What's it called? What am I saying?
What are you saying?
I don't know anymore.
We're talking about meth urine.
Meth
piss.
urine.
This is
There
one
was
of
this
your...
Because he's the
comedian.
one who wanted to
Yeah,
talk
this is
about
your
it.
topic, so
Yeah.
take off.
There was this comedian, right? I don't know her name.
You don't gotta be
Because-
so close, dude. That shit is sensitive as fuck.
Hey, don't,
Yeah, I know.
Let me whisper.
The
But
Yin Yang twins. Oh, God.
but
Meth urine. What's the big deal
Let's go
about
stand
meth
There was
urine?
there was a
Stand
comedian.
topic.
There was a comedian.
Yep.
Who
You
was
said that already.
she? Fuck you. She was talking about her addiction to meth. Her addiction to meth and how she read an article about how
She
when
read an article while as a meth addict. Go ahead.
as when she pissed, like how much meth was in the piss, and she was thinking like, yo, how much liquid gold are we pissing out every day? So
Can you imagine being a meth head and like,
What if I drink my own piss?
for real? And she was
Is she joking? Like, is this
No.
a fucking joke?
No.
Like, she's actually
She's
a
a
meth addict.
comedian.
she was a meth addict
she was past tense.
for real.
How do you make it out of
How
that?
could-
And she
Convenient.
talked about the story about how
How do you
All
make
of a
it out of
sudden,
that alive?
boom, no meth head.
and
Yeah.
she was talking about
Like,
how
quick,
she
cold
she
turkey.
took she
That's the ultimate warrior right there.
Yeah, no shit.
for real.
So go ahead.
Well, she was talking about how she was talking about how she was telling everyone about this. She converted no one, of course, because no one wants to drink piss, right? And she went to
Oh,
her
there's a
sister-
conversion process.
yeah. She was trying to convert
Dare-
other.
You said she converted no one, as if that was like
Dare I say
She was
she had
tell-
a
she was
church
telling- she was
established
telling
and
other
nobody,
meth
there was
heads.
nobody there?
She was
the
telling
United Methodist Meth Church.
the United Meth Head Society.
Jesus Christmas.
Loaded.
Yo, no,
So how did this end up? She had no converters.
She was sitting there and she was like, "Yo, I don't have any cups to drink my piss out of," so she's like, "Yo, let me go to my sister's house."
What's wrong with a solo cup?
And she showed up at her sister's house.
Hands.
Yeah, something.
You always got
It's kind of
hands.
like, drinking like the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
Like cupping all your hands.
Handfuls. That's fucking awful.
Did you imagine it's like warm? It's definitely not quenching.
And you don't miss a drop either. Just every,
No, when you're assuming that's men. When women go to the bathroom, there's
It's
like
a
a
big
spray, and it goes in different directions. So you're definitely not catching everything.
No.
Hopefully, you'll catch the bulk.
Unless you lick it off the floor.
Yeah, or you have like a wide bucket,
Yeah,
like a trough.
But the thing is, she needed a vessel for her piss.
vessel.
So she could
This is
consume her own piss, right, in order to get fucked up, right?
Okay.
So she went to her sister's house and she emptied out her toothbrush holder and just pissed in that shit.
Toothbrush.
Why is
That's
that?
like narrow.
Because
Of all the things,
That
of
you
all
could-
of the fucking
you could
things,
come up with.
because it's
You got a
perfect.
milk
It's
jug.
perfect because
ceramic.
it's perfect.
It's
for
ceramic
when,
and small.
No. It's perfect for
You
the.
want like a maybe even like cut out a tote.
That
She's
for
not
some reason,
resourceful. We know that.
That reminded me of that fucking video I sent you.
Oh,
Video,
God.
what video you just sent me?
We
milk.
have to inform
Oh
the listeners
my
of what you guys are talking about.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
You gotta explain. Explain to
it's
the
gonna get
listeners.
graphic though.
Yes, PG. Well, we're already.
No, it's beyond PG.
Well, we're already on YouTube and everything. We let people know it's adult content.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna move into this next segment.
Sorry to do it to you, but this is part A of Hang Time with My Sons. Head back into the podcast platform of your choice and look for part B to finish the discussion. Thank you. Have a great day. This wraps up another episode on the Verbally Disastrous Podcast that can be found on over 20 podcast platforms, including Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Pandora Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. For more information, head over to our website at www.constructiontales.com. I thank you for listening and have a great day. This podcast is protected through the U.S. Copyright Office as well as the Writers Guild of America.